International Internet Day. So I thought that today would be the perfect day to share with you some ideas for what you can do to promote your apartment community online.
It's Thirsty Thursday. You're so thirsty, thirsty Thursday. Thirsty for knowledge, thirsty Thursday. Drink it up.
Today I have for you 15 tips. That's right. You can't count them on one hand. You can't count them on two hands. You're gonna need your toes for this one, folks. I have 15 ideas on how to promote your community online. One of the reasons marketing online is so attractive is because you can reach the masses, and in many cases it will cost you little or nothing at all. And that's why I love the idea of writing a blog. In fact, research done by Demand Metric showed that companies that have blogs actually generate 67% more leads each month than their competitors who aren't utilizing blogs at all. So if you want to generate more leads at your property for free, start writing a blog. Another way to get some free PR via the internet is to utilize press releases. Think about it. In the digital age, we have news available to us 24/7. And that means that journalists need something to fill their pages or sites with. And so if we can provide them with that content and they don't even have to think about it, it just makes their jobs that much easier. So you might think that a press release is an antiquated idea. But let me tell you why a press release is important today. First and foremost, it helps you to create a relationship with the media. And we all know that when something goes wrong on site, we hate to see our property featured in the news. So wouldn't it be nice if you had someone that you could call and just kind of talk about what that message will be and provide them with the content that they will be distributing and have a little bit more control about what's being said about your community? So one of the best things that you can utilize press releases for is to start building that relationship with the media. You're providing them with content and you're creating this relationship that's trusting and valuable in the long run. Plus, it helps to build your business's credibility. Another great reason you'll want to utilize press releases is it helps with your SEO. The more information that's out there about your community, the higher you are on the search results. And we're all looking for that organic growth. How do you do that? Through press releases. And if you're looking for great content to put in those press releases, things like upcoming events that you'll be involved with, or maybe achievements of some of your team members if they've gotten an award or been recognized at a local level, or even if your team has done some volunteer work. In fact, that leads me to my next tip. I love sites like volunteermatch.org. Customers like to know that the company that they're doing business with is in it for the greater good, that they're doing something good for their community and they want to help others. It makes us feel good to do business with companies we know are doing good things. That's why I love sites like volunteermatch.org. And it's a great opportunity for you and your team members to come together and find an organization that you can volunteer some time to. Sharing photos, videos, and stories on your social media accounts that show your team giving back to the community is a great way to build traction and kind of stir up some buzz about what your team is doing and how your company is much more than just a housing provider. So get your team together and do some volunteer work and then put it in a press release. We've all heard the stats on the effectiveness of videos and marketing. So it's nothing new to you that I would suggest that you create video content. But more specifically, I want to suggest video tutorials. Google reports that 65% of people use YouTube in order to solve a problem. Additionally, Enceiva reports that viewers actually retain 95% of the message in a video compared to only 10% in text. So if you have a message or information that you'd like to share with your residents or prospects, video tutorials are a great way to do that. You can provide the best moving tips or maybe how to decorate a small space. You can give them tutorials about repairs in their homes, or even just fun things that they may want to do at or around the community. Video tutorials are very effective and they're easy to share. So the next time you got a call from a resident asking you a question about their apartment or something on site, of course you'll answer the question over the phone, but wouldn't it be great if you could follow up with a video tutorial so that you'll know that they've heard you and they've retained the information? I don't know about you, but I have seen more and more ads from Google about doing business local than I think I've ever seen in the past. And so that means that Google is focusing on our local businesses, which means that they're putting more effort into that local push. So if Google's focusing on it, we should also. Make sure that your business is registered with Google Places, and of course, Yahoo Local and Bing as well. In addition to focusing on ensuring that your business is registered with Google Places, you'll want to put extra effort into your Google reviews. Why is that? Because the quantity and quality of Google reviews is one of the top things that they look for when determining your local SEO. So if you want to bump yourself up in the local search options, then you want to focus on getting great Google reviews. But keep in mind, when we say quality, we don't just mean that they're positive reviews. We mean that it seems like it's authentic and that people are giving valuable information. Google is looking at all of this. So if you're just asking people to write you amazing reviews and they're really puffing up the language and it just doesn't sound realistic, that's not quality. It might be quantity, but it's not quality. And since we're talking about reviews and referrals, another great thing that you can do to help market your community while using the internet is to utilize influencers. We see influencers being used in all types of markets, clothing, makeup, food, but it's not something that has really been taken advantage of in multifamily. I think a lot of times when we think about influencers, we think about them trying out a product or service and then kind of talking about it. And so maybe we think, well, they don't live in our community, that wouldn't be very authentic. But there are so many other things that you could use an influencer for. Maybe you're hosting a big event and they could come and be a face, a name in the crowd, and help host the event. Or maybe you're going to do some of those tutorial videos and you can use an influencer to help you make some of those recordings. And if you find a influencer that's in your area, they can talk about the neighborhood and maybe what they like about what's around your community. This idea is one that takes a little more time, thought, and collaboration. But finding the right influencer with the right audience can be a huge benefit for you and your community. Another great internet tool for apartment marketing is Pinterest. I love this because we deal in people's homes and Pinterest is perfect for anyone who wants to do anything homey. You might be looking for DIY projects, ideas of things to do with kids, decorating ideas, or great life hacks. Whatever it is, Pinterest is the place to go, and that's why you should be utilizing Pinterest for your property. I love this because you can attach it to your own content, but you can also collaborate with others, so you don't have to come up with everything yourself. Creating a Pinterest page for your property is a great fun way to even interact with your residents. So if you aren't using Pinterest for your property, you're missing out on a great marketing opportunity. We can't talk about advertising on the internet without talking about the power of mobile devices. And not only do we know that more and more users are turning to their mobile devices to watch videos, TV episodes. I mean, we're using our mobile devices as our only resource for entertainment in many households. So it's important that we focus on what we can do on those devices to market to our customers. But one area that I believe is untapped in our industry is gaming. In fact, App Annie says that in 2019, games made up 72% of in-app spending. What does that mean? It means that our customers are playing more games, they're spending money, and time in those games. So where should we be advertising when it comes to mobile? In games. You have a captive audience. If you aren't spending marketing dollars in the gaming world right now, you're missing out. It would be very rare to find a property that doesn't have a website. It is very likely that a site was created and then forgotten about. Our websites need to be refreshed and updated at a minimum annually. But honestly, every quarter we should be looking at them and making sure that they are still up to date. With the way information changes and the markets that we're in, it could be that maybe you have a refreshed floor plan that hasn't had new photos put on your site. Or maybe you added a basic amenity or had a resident event that you should be sharing online. But even if you don't have major changes to your site, making small changes in colors or photos can help give it a refresher and make it look different to those who maybe have seen it over and over and over again. You want to make them stop, pay attention, hang out a little while. You'll want to make sure your website is accessible to persons who are hearing or vision impaired. Additionally, you'll want to be sure that you have things on your site that will help boost your SEO. So if you've started those blogs, or you have press releases, or you've incorporated those videos that I've talked about, all of that should be built into your site to help increase your SEO and make you more attractive to internet providers. A celebration of the internet wouldn't be a celebration if we didn't recognize the electronic communications. Yep, you guessed it, the effectiveness of emails. Now, while our inboxes are being flooded with emails these days, there's actually some great marketing techniques that you can do to help increase your email open rates and get more leases. One of the great effective marketing tools is utilizing drip campaigns. And now many of your property management platforms can assist you with this. A drip campaign is a strategy that you can use to help communicate on a regular basis with prospects, residents, and even former residents. The key to an effective drip campaign is to nurture those leads on a regular basis, and it allows you to set it up automatically so you don't have to remember to send that email notification, but it creates that touch point on a regular basis so that the customer is always hearing from you. Even if they don't lease from your property and they've told you they're going to lease somewhere else, and 6 months from now, you're going to send them an email, just checking in on them and how they like their new apartment. Remember, that renewal will be coming to their door in the next 3 to 4 months, and so you want to be on the forefront of their mind. How do you do that? Effective drip campaigns. In fact, according to pinpoint.com, drip campaigns can generate 50% more sales-ready leads because of that constant communication with our prospective residents. Cross-marketing or relationship selling is something that we've been doing in our industry for years. We partner with local businesses and we say, hey, tell your customers about us and we'll tell our residents about you. Well, we can do that same thing on online platforms. So whether we're utilizing this on social media, other websites, or even the search engine platforms, it's important that we recognize the advantages to partnerships.
A message from our sponsor.
When we partner or sponsor other organizations or groups, it helps us to extend our reach. And it shows that, hey, if you're a customer of theirs, they're interested in us and you should be too. It helps to kind of reinforce, again, that credibility and accessibility to the masses. If you're utilizing social media, paid ads are key because you want to get in front of as many people as possible. And unfortunately, with the way the algorithms are written, it makes it difficult for you to get that organic reach that we all covet, especially as a business. And with the recent changes in Facebook Marketplace, it makes it difficult for properties to post about their available rentals without using a personal employee profile. So when you're compiling your marketing budget, be sure to put some funds aside for those paid ads. What's great about the paid ads, though, is that you have amazing analytics and you can easily see what's working, and they give you the ability to change it very easily and quickly. So it's not something that you have to commit to for 3, 6, 12 months like we used to do with advertising in the old days. Now, if something's not working, you can change it in a matter of days. So really look into the analytics of your paid ads and pay where it makes sense. Or dollars, actually. But internet marketing doesn't have to stop with prospective residents. It can actually be utilized with your current residents as well. As a result of the pandemic, many of us are still doing resident events via online platforms like Zoom or Skype. This is a great opportunity to get those resident referrals. Have them invite their friends and family members to your online events so that they can experience what it's like to live at your community and interact with the neighbors. And you can automatically be able to influence their circle of influence by just including them in an activity that they otherwise would have known nothing about. And speaking of referrals, utilizing electronic referral cards instead of the traditional fill out the form or hey, put it on your application may help increase your resident referral rate. I mean, think about it. Every time we engage with a business, they're asking us to refer someone else. And so why don't we just take a page from everyone else's book and include that resident referral electronic option so that they can easily refer their friends and family without having to feel like they're putting in a lot of work. So that wraps up my celebration of International Internet Day. How will you celebrate by using one of my 15 tips to utilize the internet to promote your community? That's right, it was 15. Did you count them? That's 15 ideas to promote your community on internet